happening, everyone? Hello, and welcome to the Review Roulette Podcast, the podcast that brings strangers together for a movie night. I'm your host, Laura. Join me as I bring two strangers together as we watch and review a randomly selected movie. Now let's spin that wheel and see what movie Lady Luck has picked for us tonight. Good morning. It's morning. Well, it's morning for us, midday for the other one, and then nighttime for the other. This is interesting. But we're all on the same day. It's
morning, afternoon, evening.
Yes, good.
And good night.
Good day. Good day. Well, welcome to the Review Roulette Podcast. We're watching The Rocketeer today. I'm your host, Laura. We got Nick here. And then we have, I actually have to find out what Random's real name is, or if that is his real name. Maybe they were just like, he was birthed into this world, and it was like, you know what? Random. Mondar?
Random backwards.
Oh, okay. Is that
Mondar.
Mondar? Okay. It's early. It's going to be fun. And then we have Andres too. Essentially, we're going through, inadvertently and now advertently, we're watching all of the lovely, pulpy 80s, 90s awesome movies. Like,
yes.
I think what do we have left? We have Dick Tracy, The Phantom. Oh, but yeah, we are watching The Rocketeer. I haven't seen this movie in a really long time. I think the last time I saw this was on like Sci-Fi Network. A very long time ago. I'm trying to remember. This is one of those movies where I keep confusing it with like a bunch of other movies. Because who was the main character?
The actor?
Yeah, Billy Campbell. I don't know who that is. I guess, yeah, you could tell us, Nick. What is the Rocketeer about? Right. Who's in it?
So The Rocketeer came out in 1991. A young pilot stumbles onto a prototype jetpack that allows him to become a high-flying masked hero. And this is directed by Joe Johnston, who is known for...
like Captain America.
Yeah, Captain America, the First Avenger, Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, obviously The Rocketeer, and October Sky.
I liked October Sky. That was a good book.
And then this stars Billy Campbell, who plays Cliff as Bill Campbell. Is that where the actor can't say his name?
Yeah, he must be like, there must be another Bill Campbell.
Billy Campbell is known for Enough, Dracula, the 1992 version, and Cardinal.
So not a lot. That looks like a lot of TV stuff.
Yeah, a lot of TV stuff. I was like going through that.
So he's still working.
He's still working. Oh, Eureka, that TV show for a while.
He was in one episode.
Oh yeah, it's just a lot of...
Yeah. Who else?
Jennifer Connelly, who plays Jenny, and she is known for A Beautiful Mind, House, the Sand and Fog, and
Dark City. That's one of my favorite movies. That might count as the pulpy noir
film.
I mean, it's not good, but like...
And then you've got Alan Arkin, who plays Peavy, and he is known for Argo, Little Miss Sunshine, Edward Scissorhands.
Who is he in Edward Scissorhands?
And Glengarry Ross Bill, which is...
Is that like the dad?
I think that is... I have not
Or like the police, the one that's out to get him, like the bald guy that's out to get him, cop guy.
Oh, that might be, yeah.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
Seen it in a long time. And then Timothy Dalton.
Do you remember that he is a Bond person?
Yes, License to Kill. Flash Gordon and Hot Fuzz. Most importantly, Hot Fuzz and Flash Gordon. And then,
I still can't believe you didn't remember that he was a Bond. He looks just like Pierce Brosnan.
I know him for the other movies better.
Yeah.
And then lastly, Paul Sorvino.
What?
He plays Eddie Valentine. What? As in, who's Paul Sorvino?
No, I know who Paul Sorvino is. I just don't remember him being in this.
And he's known for Goodfellas. He's great in Goodfellas. Nixon and Rotti Largo in Repo the Genetic Opera. When are we going to do that movie?
I don't know. It's fun. Some good people to watch that one. I like that movie.
Just people who just do a lot of singing.
Andres, do you want to watch Repo? Find some other people that like this.
Just a lot of singing. Sing along with this movie.
You're supposed to talk over, not sing over. Like, no. This is a
over
musical review. Oh my goodness. Well, speaking of, we'll bring on Andres first because he brought the other guests. It's kind of weird to bring on random and be like, hey, you.
And then... Last thing before, I don't remember much of Rocketeer.
Oh, yeah.
Because I stupidly confuse it with my whole ongoing headcanon of Hell Comes to Frogtown and Return Comes to Frogtown because there's a generic Rocketeer and I mix everything up in my head.
I always kind of
and I don't know
put this movie together with The Mummy and it's going to sound really weird, but Titanic. Because like the beginning part reminds me of I don't know, I'm probably remembering it horribly incorrectly. Like, I realize there's not a giant, well, maybe there's a giant boat. There is a giant blimp. There's a giant airboat in this movie. Ooh. That is I don't want to spoil it. That might be the end of the movie. we'll bring on Andres, who is our nighttime representative of the show. Good night.
Good night, good morning, and good evening, folks.
Yes.
Fun fact, I also want to, you guys also forgot to mention that in terms of directing, Joe Johnston also worked on Jumanji, the 2010 remake of The Wolfman, and Jurassic Park 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, we usually just do the ones that IMDb says the top ones.
I'm gonna have to
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go deeper now. Yeah.
Those
Oh.
are so good.
I just remember him from October Sky and from Captain America because I remember I'm like, oh, that makes sense. They got him to do like that movie and then the Captain America movie. Oh, so when's the last time you've seen this?
I have never seen this, unfortunately. Yeah, so this is gonna be like another, like, what was that other movie that was like the first time? Oh yeah, The Shadow. It's gonna be just like The Shadow, where it's gonna be like my first time watching this movie with you, experiencing this movie, and I'm very excited to be able to do so with you guys.
Hopefully you'll be able to like actually watch it better than with The Shadow because I don't know if you actually retained any of that. Because
I still remember it was a hell of a time. Yeah.
Do you like The Shadow better than The Spirit?
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, like, for me, here's the thing. With The Spirit, it's actually, I consider it my most guiltiest pleasure because, like, I just enjoy, I don't enjoy watching The Spirit. I enjoy, here's the thing. I don't enjoy watching The Spirit. I enjoy looking at The Spirit. It's a visual feast for the eyes and nothing else.
Oh, isn't Samuel Jackson the main villain in that movie?
Yes. Okay. He's the other reason to watch that movie, just because he just goes full ham on that in that role as Octopus. And here's the thing: it's like it was directed by Frank Miller himself. And it's like you can clearly see who had the real talent behind the Sin City movie because he had like a co-director credit to Sin City, but clearly you can tell when you compare Sin City to The Spirit that it was Robert Rodriguez doing all the hard work in that film.
Because that was such a weird thing. Because I remember when that one came out, I kept thinking it was a Dame to Kill. Because did Robert Rodriguez do? Did he do a Dame to Kill for?
Yeah, he did Sin City 2, a Dame to Kill for.
So I kept thinking that The Spirit was like another sequel, and I remember watching it. I'm like, this has none of the heart or any of. Like...
This was essentially like Frank Miller taking a character that he grew up on. I think The Spirit was made by Will Eisner, I believe. And so he's like, I'm going to take Will Eisner's creation and I'm just going to turn it into a Sin City knockoff.
Oh.
Yeah. By the way, I believe there was Brad Bird, the director behind The Incredibles and several other Pixar movies. He actually made an animated, either it was like a student demo reel or an animated pitch for a Spirit movie. So like you can actually see this animatic online where it's like The Spirit done in the style of The Incredibles or The Iron Giant.
That would be cool. I would like that. Because I can't remember if The Spirit was in that. I think what I was showing. What was the comic company I sent you a bunch of stuff from the other day? The one that has like the
Dynamite. It was
Dynamite. I can't remember if The Spirit was part of the Dynamite.
I don't think so. I believe DC is the one that like that reprints all those Spirit comics. I have like a compilation of like the best of classic Spirit.
So I was like, I felt like that was just like a premium Dynamite property, if that's what it would have been. And then you brought a friend to play with, right, today?
Yes, I did.
That's pretty much what it always feels like. Like, this is my friend Random, aka Tony Stark, aka probably has a real name. I don't know. That's a weird thing. You never know if people want like their real names out there. And then you're like, that's nobody's supposed to know. Someone else will bleep out the whole episode after and be like, beep. Like we had the president, but we'll bring on Tony Stark, aka Random. Then it's even more confusing because is it Rhea? Is that how you say your character's name? There's just a picture of her, and then I just imagine that's what you look like now.
Well, I certainly look amazing enough.
Like I am the bustiest man you've ever seen. Like, oh, okay.
Hell's yeah.
You've got the features, if I remember correctly.
I mean, hey, if you got it,
Why, thank you.
So how's your day? How's everything going?
I'm okay. I've only just been up for a few hours. It's been a long week, so yay.
Have you seen The Rocketeer? Is this your first viewing?
I'm afraid I have not, so this will be an experience for me.
And you get to watch it on your phone, which will be even more fun.
Yay! It's like a little trailer or something.
You're like, is that James Bond? What movie am I watching?
Like, I didn't know
James
I had
Bond.
Captain America.
Wait, hang on. We talking the good James Bonds or the terrible one?
I mean, I would say good. Most people would say terrible because I like the
Ah,
shitty
sorry.
ones.
Well, it depends on what people mean by terrible, because I define the good James Bond as anything that doesn't have Daniel Craig in it.
Yeah, I'm actually in that boat too. Yeah, I was
Excellent.
raised on the Pierce Brosnan, Timothy Dalton Bonds was the ones I watched.
Oh,
when I
we're
was
going to get along just fine then.
sweet. Okay,
The fun over the top.
the young
Not
were
to-
sexy, like which was probably what Sean Carter was supposed to be, and then he got old, and he's like, "See, I'm still sexy." It's like, no, go be Highlander's
the-
great grandfather.
I think the funniest thing about Daniel Craig is when he said, "I'm going to make Bond funny." I went, "Oh, bless your heart. Bless your little heart.
You
This
try.
is me being funny. I'm Bond." Rrr. Yeah, go back to being a failed underwear model.
Meanwhile, you got like Sean Connery in the background. You're the man now, dog.
Oh, yeah. For pity's sake, there, Peter. For pity's sake, Daniel, tell a bloody joke, for God's sake.
Oh.
I am telling a joke. Rrr.
This is my joke face. It's also my every other face
Yeah.
and my poop face. Like, oh.
I am quite serious, and don't call me Shirley.
I'm serious, and don't call me Shirley.
See, that's they should have done
That's
that. Like, have everybody else be really funny, and then him just being like, "I don't get it." Like, obviously,
Oh,
I don't get it.
that could actually work, honestly, if you just made James Bond the straight man in like an entirely goofy world.
it's like a very opposite. It's like Mr. Bean, but the complete opposite. Where it's just like, it's like watermelon thrown everywhere, and he's just like, "What? I'm trying to save the world." It's like, no. From the
It's
watermelon.
funny you say Mr. Bean is James Bond. Wasn't that what Johnny English was?
Yeah,
Oh, did I
I
confuse
remember.
them?
They made 3 of those movies, I think.
Yeah.
Are they popular in the
It
UK?
still blows my mind they made 3 of those. I don't hear anyone talking about it.
Right. I saw the original in theaters because I grew up on the Mr. Bean movie back in the 90s. And I saw that. I was like, I know that guy.
Johnny English, Reborn, and Johnny English
Strikes Again. Oh, the Strikes Again is
It's
my
funny.
favorite.
Now I'm just picturing Mr. Bean as James Bond. It's kind of hilarious.
Oh.
My name's Bond. James Bond.
Oh. I actually, the first time I ever saw him was in Black Adler. So then I was very confused because I forgot why that was on PBS, like our public television. So I saw him in that, and then everyone's like, "Oh,
Which
it's
one
Mr.
was
Bean."
it?
What year? It was like the Renaissance one. I don't know if that's all of what it
I
is.
think that's Blackadder 2, or the third one.
Because it was
Blackadder
on after
2 is the
Doctor
best.
Who, and it was very confusing.
Oh, Black Adder.
Adler, I think.
Yeah, I was kind of confused why you said Adler. I was like, is there a show I missed?
No, I was really little when I watched it, so I'm like, oh, it's that guy from that weird show. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good.
No, I'm not. I'm from Iowa. I'm not from the UK. I don't know what you guys do. I just,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Real
just felt
English
really
language.
snooty when I watched Doctor Who when I was little, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's this new thing." I'm like, "You guys are stupid."
I've never seen it personally, but
It's like the 5th Doctor, my ass. It's like, I forgot what even one they're on anymore. I was just like, yeah, that was.
I think
my-
I'm the only person from the UK that's never seen Doctor Who. So
I thought it was just given to you when you were born, and then you were just.
yeah, it's just like I just was never interested in it. I was more into like Bottom and Red Dwarf, to be honest with you.
Oh, see, that was also I haven't seen the redo of Red Dwarf. I think where they're like in the because they did 2 like restarts of the show right after they had like 12 seasons, and then they restarted it, and then they restarted it again.
It's been ongoing, but the magic has been long since dead.
Oh, that's so sad. Yeah, because that was essentially like every Saturday night. It was always Doctor Who and Red Dwarf, and then every once in a while one other random show. But I was just like, it was really sad not having anybody else who watched Red Dwarf because I was like said Smeg all the time, and then I was like every time I see those appliances that are called that, I'm like,
Oh, that's
So
those
cool.
people.
Yeah, I made you watch an episode of it, and you were
Yes,
really
you
confused. You're like, why is there a cat man dancing around? I'm like, because he's cat.
Why isn't there a Catman dancing?
Yes.
Everything works better with a Catman dancing.
Doesn't he sing?
How am I
something?
looking? I'm looking nice.
I say that to myself. I swear, I talk to myself as cat more than probably any other character. Like every time I eat fish, I'm like, I'm gonna eat you, little fishy. I'm gonna eat you, little fish. Oh, this is not Rocketeer talk.
It's okay. I feel like at this point the audience knows what they're in for when it comes to review
But
roulette.
then again,
It's
the
a
Cat
rule.
as the Rocketeer is a film I'd probably want to watch.
Really enjoy the hell out of it. So unfortunately, I haven't had the time to actually get into that series, but it is something that is definitely on my like to do list.
It's good. It's long though.
I
That's
will
kind of
say though, stop after season 6 though.
Gotcha.
Is
I
that
mean,
when they
7's okay, but it's kind of like the the wheels started coming off the wagon around 8.
Right. So I
It's
guess
still
it's at
funny,
that point.
but it's not like gut-busting, hilarious funny. It's more like, ha-ha funny. And then by season 9, it's just like pity chuckle funny.
At that point, you're just in it just out of obligation.
When do they go to the prison ship? Is that 9 or is that earlier?
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's kind of when it's like
That's
we don't
8.
want to go to any other locations, so we're in jail now. It's like, oh, okay.
This is going to be a weird analogy, but I trust it's like some people might get what I'm going with this. I mean, I often compare Red Dwarf to the Mega Man X series, and it follows a similar projection. Series 1 through 6 is okay, and it's self-contained. Series 7, they both introduce a new character into the mix, which has mixed reception with the fans. And by Series 8, they're going, please God, just end this now. The only difference is there's sadly there isn't a Mega Man X9, so I cry every night.
Aww.
When does the Hookers and Blow come in? Or is that the wrong game? I keep thinking that's Mega Man.
That'd be X13 if that ever happens.
Yeah,
Extreme Boogaloo. And then X14 Zero does Dallas.
You're on the right track. You keep thinking of
Mighty 9,
Mighty Number 9.
the guy that like took all the money for Kickstarter and bought Hookers, literally bought Hookers and Blow.
I think this.
What's hilarious about that is I called that from day one. I said to people that is going to be a steaming. I said to people, mark my words, that will be a steaming garbage fire. And by God, did I ever call it?
I mean, this is the same guy who greenlighted that failed Bionic Commando reboot.
Yeah.
And he's also the man to blame for DMC Devil May Cry, so you know who to send your hate mail to now.
Oh wow, that's right.
Because he believes that Japanese video games need to embrace a more Western image, his words. And considering how well Capcom's doing now since they've abandoned that shit, yeah.
Never has anything ever been good where it's like, we need to embrace the West. Like, no.
Just keep doing your thing, man.
We need to make these
key thing I always say to people is, in this life, you have to, if you're good at something, keep doing it. Don't ever drop what you're doing to impress somebody else. That's my advice.
Especially the West. Don't do it. We don't care. You don't drop your standards for this.
I mean, look at Castlevania. Sad, isn't it?
Yeah.
The game that is not the Netflix show.
I was like, that show is not.
Yeah. But no, that went to crap. And Bloodstained is literally just Castlevania, and it's doing great.
That game was fun.
See, Bloodstained is basically Mighty Number 9 in Opposite World.
Yeah.
True,
that was the best Kickstarter game I think I've ever played. Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking forward to a sequel if it ever happens, though.
Did they say they're going to?
They said they're working on one now.
They did made like a sequel to the little NES style side project, Curse of the Moon.
Oh, you played that.
That's like a self-contained universe, separent from Symphony of the Night. Then, whoops. I mean, Ritual of the Night.
I'm not sure. Kind of. I don't know. Maybe it's like Castlevania, where it's like it doesn't matter.
The PS4 Xbox games was like its own thing, and the NES one was like its own separate universe because the stories don't match up at all.
I guess so. Yeah. Or at the very least, they have like a different focus.
What was the thing in Bloodstained that I was trying to farm for you?
Oh,
essentially he would go to work and I would do the same. I would go kill pitchers for like hours.
Yeah.
Because he was trying to farm this like one resource. So like I would just sit there because it was like easy and I was, instead of sleeping, I would just be like, I would go to this specific area, kill these 4 paintings, and then leave, and then do the same thing over and over again. And I forgot what I was trying to farm for you, but like essentially,
I think I know what you were trying to. It's like a particular shard. I think I know what you were trying to do.
Yeah, because I think I was for the cooking stuff. Because I was trying to because Nick has a very hard time with like completionist things in games where it's like it's not done until it's done, and then you just can't do anything else. I'm just like, I'll help you because you're getting frustrated killing these paintings over and over again. So I think I spent like 6 hours just like kill these 4 paintings and then like leave, and then that was the I played a lot of that game. I just played a lot of the same level,
the same room
over and over again. But it was fun. It was better than the farming I did for you in Mario Odyssey, where I went to that one place and just got coins for you, so we could buy all the stars. So
kind of reminds me of when I tried 100% Resident Evil 2 remake, because there's this one trophy you have to get where you have to leave this room in a minute, and I did it by accident one day. I spent ages just trying to get it right, failed every single time. I was sitting with Grace one time, I just did it, and she looked at me and I'm like, don't question it. Just keep going.
Oh, speaking of, I already ruined Nick's birthday present. So, because you're getting Biohazard.
Yes.
1 and 2. from Japan.
Nice.
He's all excited. But still not
Let's go
Rocketeer.
with all the rest
But yeah.
And in case you want to know what they look like, here they are.
They're so
Those look
pretty.
so great.
Yeah,
That looks
manuals, jewel cases, manuals, everything.
I remember when PlayStation games had double discs and how exciting it was to be like, oh, there's two.
It
Didn't Final
amuses
Fan-
me that it's called Biohazard in Japan and Resident Evil in the West. That just still amuses me.
Wait, Andres, what is the title of 7?
Biohazard 7, Resident Evil.
Actually, it's just Biohazard Resident Evil, but they've highlighted the Z, part of the Z to look like a 7.
Oh yeah. They're doing that thing where
They're doing that
they're
weird
hiding-
Roman numeral thing at the moment, aren't they?
Right. So it's like technically they're like there is no number in the title. They just like sneak it in there.
So it's not the Z,
Which
it's
makes me
actually in the Resident Evil, it's the V and the
I and the part of the L.
yeah. Right now.
Makes me wonder what the hell they're going to do for 9.
What did we looked it up. We were like
We were
really
trying to come up with stupid names for it.
so one of them is Resident Evil Cervix that fits
Yes.
that fits into the Roman numeral. And then
The
one of
best
the
one
ones,
I've gone.
or Phoenix. Phoenix was the other one.
Yeah, Phoenix is the one I've seen online, and it actually makes the most sense, only because I want Jill playable again.
But Cervix, man. Resident Evil Cervix. That's where everything comes from. You're like, no. Because you have your some of your what was your series random? You have like the village people.
Yeah, in the I called it the Village People because the joke I had is like one of my characters is simping after Demifig, and then she goes, "Oh, would you like to meet one of my friends?" And he's like, "Hell's yeah!" Then the baby from the dollhouse shows up, and he runs out screaming, "No waifu is worth this."
As somebody who's not played Resident Evil, do you know what we're talking about?
Oh yeah. Thankfully, like Random has keep me up to date. He's filled me in on the basics.
Yeah, because one of the things I've been telling him is I found it amusing that the internet is reacting to what I refer to as Demithik, and spoiler alert, she's gone within the first hour.
Yeah.
Right, she's like what the first or second major boss in the game.
She's the first.
The first boss, yeah. So
Yeah.
I guess she was gonna come back. I'm like, and then like I watched.
It's like the bitch is dead.
She did, yeah. I was like, they really. What was the thing you read about? Where essentially in Japan, she's considered scary, and so that's why they thought when it would come here, she would not have the reaction.
And then it's like, oh no,
And they're like,
everyone here
no,
is,
American
like-
people. See, that's why you shouldn't like play to the West because we just want thick women to step on us. Apparently, is what happened.
Like, I sadly don't have the technology to make this, but if I did, there is a video I would make in Source Filmmaker where Lady Dimitrescu is running in fear through her castle screaming, and she's being chased by a horde of Sims with body pillows. And they're like,
Just heard her
step on me,
daughter's
mama,
fighting
please
back.
step on me. I have a signed picture from Patreon. she's like, get away from me. Ah!
When are you gonna start an OnlyFans account?
You want to sign my copy of Mighty Number 9?
Yeah, can I have the shoe when we're done? I get the shoe when we're done. I paid
Make me
$200
cry
extra
like
dollars.
she makes him cry like an anime fan on prom night.
Oh, I mentioned this. I mentioned this to Random, but I find it so hilarious that like for every person who's like currently Let's playing Resident Evil 8, they have to constantly try to stretch out some excuse to keep putting that character in every thumbnail for that
Yeah.
for their Let's Play
Yeah.
series.
Like, no. Yeah, they
A
should have
joke I
had
like
that.
to use. A joke I like to use on a friend of mine is because she is really into the character. I mean, yeah, I'm not teasing her to take the piss or anything, but it's kind of like she posted an image she found on Twitter, and I replied with a photo of a sniper rifle, going, "I can't see her very well. Let me get a closer look."
We go in there. Yeah. Oh, that was such a weird thing about that game. It's like they really played her up and then the doll up. And it's like, hey, who are the two quickest bosses in this entire game? Those two. It's like, I guess, no.
I was the one that lasted longest was Magneto.
Yeah. Which made sense. I felt like he was supposed to be. Yeah. Right. I mean, and then the
Heisenberg.
frog guy. You feel, yeah.
Heisenberg.
And then you feel bad for the frog. Like, we
That
just
I
had
killed
stupid.
Yeah,
I
I
was
killed
just
by
like,
accident. I was just
Like, he
setting
could never pick an accent. Like, his voice just kept changing like every
Yeah.
5 minutes. Like, dude, pick an accent already.
At one point in
He's
time,
like,
he kinda sounded
Evening
bad.
Winters, how nice to see you.
Oh,
And I'm like, is this guy trying to kill me or sleep with me?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. We just met a while back.
That could have been like the tagline of that movie. Like, are these people trying to kill me or fuck me? Like, Resident Evil 8. Like, oh, okay.
I mean, if you
Although I kind
remember
of made
what
that joke about Demi-Thick already.
I was gonna say, if you
Because
remember, what
I drew an
Go ahead,
image
sorry.
of I drew an image of Ree killing all three of her daughters. She goes, the bad news is you don't have any kids. The good news is you and I can go make some more.
What were you saying on this?
No, I was just gonna say, like, in relation to how this conversation is going, I was gonna be like, if anyone remembers what the logo for Resident Evil 6 looked like that everyone started making fun of back in the day.
The giraffe fucking the guy.
Giraffe-alatio.
I never looked at, and then I saw the meme, and Nick's like, "Well, yeah, that's what I saw." I'm like, "What? What's wrong with you?"
Someone's gonna lose their job over at Capcom.
It's like
I think many people did.
Probably.
It's like the only thing I could notice on that.
It looks like a 6.
Sure, Laura. Sure.
Oh, bless your innocent little heart.
I mean, I don't know about that, but yeah, I still saw it.
Oh my.
I was like, let me consult the chronicles. Both way down there.
If they re-release RE5 for the PS5, it should on the cover it should just have a picture of Chris punching a boulder.
Oh,
Because that's the game in a nutshell.
my friend bought like one of those 6-foot beach balls, and their goal for when they go to a con is they're just going to paint it brown and then just punch it around the con. Okay, it does look like a giraffe.
See?
I'm glad you finally came around to it, Laura.
With the piece that
I think the thing that makes me sad is it looks like Jeffrey the giraffe.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
It looks like the Toys R Us mascot is just like not still making any money to have Toys R Us continue as a thing.
It's like times have been tough for poor Jeffrey. He lost his toy store chain.
It's
And
just-
He's on the street corner. Man's got to eat. So when you do what you gotta do.
You gotta perform a little,
He's
midnight
hanging out with
cowboy
Barney
action.
and the guys from Rainbow.
I used to make kids so happy. You're like, nope, not
See, I'm
anymore.
just picturing a bunch of old mascots on the street corner, sucking off a coin.
Oh, that's what it looks like in Las Vegas if you ever come here.
Oh,
And if
no.
And if he's not careful, Sonic the Hedgehog's going to be joining him soon.
Oh, no.
What?
Gotta
I think
go
you've said it a
fast.
couple times, Nick. What is your favorite mascot fight that you saw?
It was Woody and Bumblebee.
Oh, my God.
No, it was Woody
And Bumblebee,
and
right?
Bumblebee.
Yeah.
On the streets of Vegas?
It was the greatest fights.
Apparently, one of them was like impeding onto his turf, his like busking turf. And so I just imagine like Woody being like, "What up, bro? Like, I don't care that you turn into a Camaro. This is my spot." Like Andy's over there. I don't care where Andy is. Like,
Have you seen that creepy Woody doll with that very creepy expression you can get?
Yes, from Rebel Tech.
I've seen meme pictures online where they've got that doll with the creepy face. He's holding 2 vibrators with the caption, "You're my favorite deputy."
Oh my. But The Rocketeer is supposed to be a very friendly movie.
Oh, I do apologize.
I know, it's fine. It's fucking great.
This is normal for us.
Yeah. So The Rocketeer is the movie that came out.
The Rocketeer, yes. So Elton John's Rocket Man.
Oh god, that'd be interesting. I was even gonna suggest we could just watch Mario Brothers, and I'm like, I feel like we've gone past that innocent of a movie.
No. Honestly, I'd come back for Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, I'd watch that show. I love that film.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll have to do that. We were watching House of the Dead 2 tonight. That is our late night feature. Reload. But then you'll have to watch. We'll do it Mario. Yeah. I laughed when I was just like, yeah, he said his computer shitty. I'm like, the dude that does pixel arts has a shitty. Is he like working on like a Mac 2 or something? Like,
did somebody say computers?
No.
Hello, I'm George Lucas. I create Star Wars and the Clone
We're not
Wars.
being infected by Andres' YouTube channel.
The George R. R. Martin pixel art.
No, it's not George R. R. Martin.
Because he writes on an
George
old
Lucas.
computer. No, because George R. R. Martin types on an old computer.
Oh no, they had the whole.
He types on like an old school typewriter.
Yeah.
That's why.
See, if he wrote Star Wars, that would have been a very different series of films.
At least if they still would be going on, there'd still be people being like, "When's the next Star Wars?" Like next month.
It's over. It's coming, guys. It's coming. All right. It's coming. my typewriter is broken, all right? This whole entire extra large pizza is not going to eat itself.
Damn it, now I'm hungry.
Yeah. You could get some breakfast pizza. Be good. Oh, but The Rocketeer is a movie that we are. Usually this is Nick's job.
You don't even have the page up.
I know. Usually it's Nick the one that keeps us like on course. I just remember I was laughing so hard when we were doing the shadow, and you were like, "So we should probably be talking about the shadow." I think you said that 4 times. Yeah. I'm like, "Let's talk about cups from McDonald's."
You see, the thing is that this is where the roulette within Review Roulette podcast comes in, because it's just a roulette of different subject materials to talk about
before anything happens.
So we're going off topic and in weird directions. Well, it is my nomenclature.
Yes,
that is true. Yeah,
it's fun. We someday we'll get to The Rocketeer. Well, I'll pull up the page now, Nick.
You've at least got to pull up the page.
Fine. Oh God, the 40 page is back up.
Do it now. Do it.
Get on with it.
Get to the chopper. Do it now. Do the Rocketeer before I kill you.
Okay, we're just going to go watch the movie now, and we'll be right back here for our review in part 2 in just a second. But just so you don't feel left out, here are some choice clips from us watching the movie.
Play it backwards like it's speaking in tongues.
This right.
You're no Fatty Zhao. Okay.
Oh God, he's gonna look like a real doll.
Oh no.
That's the other version of Sharks. Timmy's real doll.
Gonna give a whole new meaning to the term number 5 is alive.
Up top.
Down low. Too
Shut
slow.
Up. You shut up.
You forgot side to side.
This was not a good idea.
Just Mickey's just rubbing his little hands together. It's all falling into place.
This is when they were trying to copy Marvel as opposed to straight up buying them.
Yeah.
I'll make them an offer they can't refuse.
Now I just see Mickey cutting the garlic with the razor blade.
Yep.
It's like, he's the plumber.
He must have had
chose
good
the life
parents.
of a straight life.
Yeah.
My mama, he raised me good.
Yeah. Mama Mario. My last name's Mario.
Oh, you see.
Get out of here, you vile miscreant.
Well, this was the same in real life. These were the same people that thought that like wasting tons and tons of money on big, giant, cumbersome tanks was a good idea. That were too big to actually function correctly.
They were too big to fail on, Dresser. Too big to fail.
I have explosive diarrhea.
Yes.
Man's
Yes.
Yes!
Hollywood.
Yes!
Oh, yes!
That's the greatest villain death I've ever seen.
Perfect.
That's what you get when you don't wear your fireproof chaps.
Let's get started with part 2, shall we? But first, if you'd like to be a guest on the Review Roulette podcast, just sign up at our website. It's www.reviewroulettepod.com. That's www.reviewroulettepod.com.
Here.
That was The Rocketeer.
The budget was $35 million estimated, and that definitely shows because that a lot of stuff looked good.
Yeah, it was definitely very like what would you say? It's like it was probably like it was the it looked very state of the art for its time.
Yeah.
And while a lot of the blue screen stuff definitely doesn't hold up as well, you can definitely say that they did everything they could with the concept and made it work as well as they could for 90s digital technology. And then there's a lot of practical stunt work involved.
Yeah, and I think sometimes they like would cut between the blues because I remember there's a scene with the plane, like the very beginning, where it's like I think there's actually stunt people that fell off of a plane, and then every once in a while there was like blue screen cut in, so it's kind of like it was just enough to like kind of forget about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it's 35 million, but then it only grossed 46 million.
46,704,000.
So it's like so it probably was at a loss because don't they usually double the cost for like isn't that how they usually figure it out? Essentially, if a movie was 35 million, you would add another 35 million on for like the advertising.
Yeah, and all the other.
So this movie flopped.
Let's see. It looks like they at one point were Disney was trying to do a remake of The Rocketeer in 2012. And then in 2016, Walt Disney Pictures confirmed that they will be rebooting The Rocketeer as The Rocketeers. And let's see, April 6, 2016, Taylor confirmed that I don't know who this Taylor person is, but confirmed that the film will be a sequel instead. February 8th, 2020, it was reported that Ozzie Esquire wrote a new draft for the sequel, which will be released on Disney's streaming service, Disney Plus, directed by J.D. Dillard, whoever that is.
That sounds familiar.
Name does sound familiar, though.
I wonder if they did a sequel, would they... So would
I
it
suppose,
be like Captain America and be like during World War II?
Oh, I'm pretty sure it would have to be. Okay. So this JD person, he has done, I guess, mostly television work. I think nothing here. Nothing here comes to mind other than one episode of the new Twilight Zone series from 2020.
Oh, one episode of The Outsider. It was a good show.
Which one's The Outsider?
Oh, wait, I should double check before I say that. Yeah, Andres.
So random. Did you like the Rocketeer?
It's clearly like
he got tired. He wanted to go to bed.
It's just like it's clearly like a product of its time, but for what it's worth, it's a decent little film, and I wouldn't mind watching this one again.
Yeah, I remember. I feel like when I was watching it, it was just how I remembered it. Which there's a lot of movies where I think back, I'm like, I remember this being great, and I'm watching it, I'm like, nope, I'm dumb. But yeah, this movie it held up a lot better than I thought it was going to.
Yeah, I can definitely see why this is a movie that has like slowly gained a cult following over time. I feel like it was really underappreciated, and it's a shame that not many people talked about it when it was out. But I'm glad it's gained an audience and that the character has made a resurgence in comics in the decade since.
I wonder why I didn't do what other movie. So you said this came out in 90. What other movies came out in 1990?
91. Let's see. 1991 movies.
There was some other movie where we looked it up. We're like, wow, Coraline. We had an episode Coraline. We're like, I wonder why this movie didn't do good. And it was released the same weekend as Avatar. We're like,
Let's see. We had The Addams Family, Silence of the Lambs, Backdraft. Let's see. Hot Shots with Charlie Sheen.
I like that movie.
God.
Pardue. Hook from Steven Spielberg.
I always think that's a Disney movie.
Yeah, I keep thinking that as well.
No, I'm pretty sure it's. Yeah, go ahead.
Is it under a Jim Henson label, but with Steven Spielberg attached to it? Is that what Hook is?
Let's see. Let's see who released this movie. It was Amblin. Okay, so it was TriStar. It was TriStar's Pictures. So this had to be like had some involvement with like Universal if Amblin is involved.
Oh, so is that the same as Home Alone? Is that the same?
Let's see who
is Amblin the one that's I'm trying to think of the logo.
It's the one with E.T.
Oh, okay.
E.T. logo. Yeah, they did E.T., Back to the Future, Roger Rabbit, Ready Player One, all the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World movies, Schindler's List, Saving Private Ryan, The Goonies, Men in Black, Gremlins, An American Tale. Yeah, Amblin pretty much did released all the Spielberg movies and the Spielberg produced movies.
Oh, okay.
Weird.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because I thought Hook was a Disney movie.
Yeah, I think that from time to time.
But Amblin, that's funny.
I thought it was Disney doing like a serious.
Yeah, because they did Three Musketeers, so I'm like, they're doing this other.
1991 was also the year that both Terminator 2, Judgment Day, and Beauty and the Beast came out.
Oh, okay.
So 1991 and the Kevin Costner Robin Hood movie. So 1991 was a rather packed year for movies back in the day.
Maybe that's why that didn't do very good. Yeah, because there's always it seems like there's always seminal years because 87 was a big year for movies because that was there's a bunch of stuff in 87 and then 85 I think whatever year what was the first Back to the Future because that one came out and there's a shit ton of movies.
I think.
Oh, okay, because there's Back to the Future. I think is it the first Terminator I think is 85. I don't remember. It's just weird.
I'll look that myself.
There's
by the way,
years.
side note.
Cool.
I just want to say, like, Random's gonna like this. 1991 was in Japan was the year that his favorite Godzilla movie came out, Godzilla versus King Ghidorah.
Damn fucking right. That fucking like punch up at the end of the film between Mecha King Ghidorah, that chef's kiss.
Hell yeah.
The music blaring and everything.
That's Rainey's favorite Godzilla movie.
Nice.
Nice stuff.
That's not my favorite.
Not nice.
Not nice. No. Or Reanimator was in 91. Nobody cares about
No, 80,
Reanimator.
I'm looking at 85.
Oh, 85. Oh yeah, Indiana Jones was 85. Like there's just so many movies in 85. And that's just like, so there's like, it's weird that there's these random years where it's like, oh yeah, every movie you ever loved came out now. It's like, oh, okay. Like in 87 was, I always feel like 87 was like the world getting ready for my birth because I was born in 88. So it's like we got Star Trek came out in 87, RoboCop came out in 87, and Bubblegum Crisis came out in 87.
I'd buy that
Nice.
for $1.
It's like, yes. It's like this is all the things that I love. And like, no, now I can come into this planet. I can be happy with Star Trek.
Oh, well, I just found something that's going to make this whole entire podcast come like full circle. There was an official crossover between the Rocketeer and the Spirit.
Nice.
Oh, really?
You're like, and we're done. You're like, no.
It's called the Rocketeer and Spirit Pulp Friction.
How is that not the title of a porno? That's all I'm saying.
It probably is. Oh, that sounds like a Dynamite cover. Like
Yeah.
Let's see. Here we go.
Is that DC then? Or no?
Let's see. Checking right now.
Who did you say has the Spirit?
Okay, so apparently IDW published this crossover.
Oh.
Yeah. I was about to say IDW.
It looks like he's trying to like rope him up.
Yeah.
Like, well, hello. Oh, I don't know. What is the difference between the Spirit and the Shadow? Is the Spirit supposed to be dead?
Quality.
Yes, no, the Spirit was like was a cop who was thought to be dead, but actually survived and decided to work what do you call it, above the law, and meanwhile still getting crime related tips from his commissioner, who is the only person who knows that he is still alive and is working as the Spirit.
And was it his daughter that he was supposed to marry or something like that? Is that part of it?
I'm not quite sure. I think it was the movie that added the superpowers with him not dying.
Because I remember it seemed like he had like 8 ladies, and I'm like, how many women does this man need?
All the women. He's like Neil
Don't you
Breed.
think
He
you've had
just
enough?
has everybody.
You and I've had enough.
It was like all of his informants were just all these women that he's sleeping with, and I'm like, I mean, I guess that's a different Ovaltine system. I mean,
and IDW has been in charge of all the new Rocketeer comics.
Oh, you'll have to read. Like, I got halfway through the Shadow one. Is it the Alex Ross one?
The new Dynamite Shadow comics.
Yeah, you can get for $9. You can get the entire set off on Amazon.
Nice.
It's actually really
cool.
good.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like when I was reading it, I was like, are these like, I'm assuming the lines that are in the movie are from the comic, but it's just funny because it's like I never read the comic from before. So he just says it's like, I know what evil lurks in the hearts of, like, he's saying the things from the movie.
He's doing the thing. He's saying it.
I was like, what is it? The seed of crime bears bitter fruit. I'm like, that is like some Shakespeare shit, right?
Yeah.
And let's see. Right now, I'm trying to see who did the original Rocketeer comics that were adapted for this movie. Pacific Comics. Okay, so yeah, the Rocketeer was first created. The comics, I think, first made in around 1982. So this is like an early 80s comic from Pacific Comics, and then that's what led to it being adapted in 91, and eventually the comic character came back under IDW's umbrella.
That's
anyway.
I thought it was older because it's like I guess it's a more recent.
Oh yeah, it's an 80s comic that was originally an 80s comic that was meant to homage the Saturday matinee superheroes of the 30s and throughout from the 30s to the 50s.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, so he's like.
It shouldn't count as our pulpy noir stuff then.
But it's like the ultimate tribute to the pulp heroes.
Yeah, this is a good movie. I was glad. I guess we have to figure out which ones we have left.
We got the Billy Zane's Phantom movie. We got to do that next.
Which Yoko said he wants to watch that with.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't remember how that came up in our what was it, Reanimator? Or no, we watched From Beyond and it turned into so like we should watch the Phantom. I don't remember how that.
Maybe he must have misheard you and thought it was like a riffing commentary on the Phantom Menace.
I don't want to watch that with anybody.
Somebody say Star Wars. See, I created Star Wars and the Clone Wars and the prequels. It was only computers.
The thing that makes me most mad about George Lucas is like after those, like his whole thing is Star Wars, but the thing that everybody loves about Star Wars are the 2 movies that he didn't direct. And then as soon as those 2 people died, he's like, I'm taking my shit back and putting my shit into it. And then this is the only shit that people can see. It's like, no, why? Why is there?
And then I gave my shit to Disney and instantly regretted it.
Oh.
I gave it to those white.
If the good thing is, if anything goes wrong now with Star Wars, I get to be absolved of blame because I get to say, well, at least I didn't do it.
You still
Hey,
do.
I get to sit here and
those-
laugh in my race car bed and play with my action figures to all eternity.
Meanwhile, those white slavers get all the blame.
Yes. His wife is black. I always think that's funny because I was like, oh,
I thought-
that in you.
I thought Spielberg's wife was black.
So is George Lucas's.
I guess, okay.
They might not be married, but they're together. They've been together for like a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, I'm the one that gets to wear the slave Leia costume.
No, Spielberg's wife is like the whitest lady I think I've ever seen in my life.
Kate Capshaw.
Yeah, Kate Capshaw. So I think maybe you're thinking of George Lucas's wife. I don't know if they're. Yeah, she looks like Amanda Waller.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Actually,
Regular or New 52 version?
Whatever the one that is based off of CC Pounder. I guess she looks
That's
like
probably
CC.
the regular one because they redesigned her in the New 52 and it upset a lot of people.
Yeah, she looks like CC Pounder, or she looks like the lady from Carmen Sandiego. She looks like Chief from Carmen Sandiego.
She's the chairwoman of Starbucks.
Yeah, like she had more money than him
I was like, damn.
when they got together.
It's like when he proposed her, will you join me and together we can rule the United States as CEO and film
Will you
owner,
be the
Star Wars creator?
To my macchiato. Yeah, so she.
See, when we first got together, she actually slapped me in the face because I said to her, "Would you like to take a sample of my large latte?"
Oh no!
Oh, no.
And then afterwards, she slapped me in the face, and I said, "I find your lack of faith disturbing."
Yeah. And then they adopted a bunch of kids together. So
he
he has.
very much married up. She married down.
Yeah, he could do better.
Poor George.
Yeah.
Like, she's
Did you
actually
hear that,
very-
everyone?
She's very successful and she's very beautiful. And then there's just this fat toad next to her in all of the pictures.
So I was sitting in my race car bed one evening watching the review roulette, and these people were making fun of me. So I sat there and hugged my official Jar Jar Binks plushie and said, "Oh, Jar Jar, tell me you love me."
I guess Robert doesn't work for him anymore, so we don't have to be overly nice. We had a friend that worked for him.
Oh,
So we're like, maybe we always wanted to ask him, like, can you ask him if he knows about all, like, this was when like a lot of the Plinkett reviews were coming out. We're like, can you just ask him if he knows, like, oh, is he aware of it? But yeah, that man was able to retire because of him. So I was like, that'd be nice. He's like 40 and just like retired.
Yeah, just retired and done. Like, you lucky bastard.
He's lucky. He just plays WoW all day and in his mansion. Like,
Yeah.
it's not fair. Why are you so nice? And he's like the super nice guy too. You're like, I want to be mad at you, damn it. Like,
The nicest person.
why do you have to be so cool?
and then like all the Star Wars fans went from like shitting on him 24/7 over the prequels, now loving the prequels all of a sudden because of the Disney movies.
Yeah, it's just like, apparently we could go lower.
Oh,
You were the chosen
it
one.
was a chosen one. No, I only really like, was it 4 and, is it 4 and, no wait, I like 5 and 6.
You don't
You
like
don't
you
like
don't like A New Hope?
It's okay. I mean, I probably like them in descending order. Like,
Okay.
I would rather watch A New Hope. Last time I watched A New Hope was with you. That was a long time ago.
Oh yeah, that was not a long. It was like barely, not even a year ago.
Yeah, that
Feels
was
like a long time ago. I don't remember. Yeah, this is the same case where it's just like I don't remember any of it because we were just talking over it the whole time. But yeah, I think that was the last time I watched it, and then I think that might be the last time I saw a Star Wars movie because I never saw 9
or 8.
I really liked the extended canon they had before because I remember I read those books and I liked all that stuff, and they're like, nope, all this doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's one of the first things Disney gave the chopping block to,
Like nope.
and they
nope,
instantly
never-
regret it now.
But they still profit off of it by calling it Legends.
Yeah,
Oh,
Legends.
that's so dumb.
I really liked
It's not canon, but we'll still take your money over it.
Yeah. What's the Star Wars game called? You like that one?
I was like, I liked a lot of the games then, or the new game.
I like the new game.
What was
I keep wanting to say
Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That one
really
get- that
liked
one
that.
good.
The Old Republic.
I did like Knights of the Old Republic
Yeah.
for the old ones and Force Unleashed.
Yeah, I liked Force Unleashed. The second
Dark
one.
Forces was a good game though.
Is that the second one?
That's like
Of
the Doom inspired game, isn't it?
Yeah,
Anything with Doom inspired is just like yes.
and I love Jedi Academy. because there was like an arcade here, or not an arcade. What do you call it? Like a PC? What would it be called? Like a PC?
Like a cafe, right?
Yeah,
there
was like a
cafe.
Yeah. We had one here, and we used to play stupid Jedi Knight Academy tournaments.
Isn't that the one where you guys had to leave because there was a gunfight?
Yeah, that was shortly before it closed. There was an actual gunfight because there was, knife tournaments in a, oh my gosh.
Someone brought a gun to a knife fight.
There were supposed to be knives only in CSGO. And someone was using guns in it, and then there was an actual gunfight outside because of it.
It's like, wait, like someone brought a gun. Oh, it's Counter-Strike. Oh wait, no, it's an actual gun.
No.
And then
They took it outside.
And then they took it outside, and there was an actual gunfight.
Did they decide to have like a gentleman's challenge?
Yeah.
I demand a joust. Slapped him with a glove and everything.
In the parking lot because it was a store in a strip mall. So it's just be like them in front of a Smith's grocery store being like 7 paces.
So great.
Oh my god!
I challenge you to a gentleman's duel for the best for the title of the best CS:GO player.
Oh, instead of a revolver, it's just 2 Glocks. You're like, why are we doing this? Oh, that was back when you lived in the ghetto.
In the ghetto.
Yeah, so I guess, would you guys recommend The Rocketeer?
Even though we didn't even talk about the at all.
Despite the fact that there was no gentleman's challenge in The Rocketeer, I would still highly recommend this movie for people who are into those sort of like old school retro World War II era pulp fiction sort of deals. Essentially, if you like Captain America, especially the first Avenger, do check this out. This is sort of like, for me, this will forever now be the unofficial prequel to Captain America, the first Avenger.
It felt like the prequel to like Captain America, Indiana Jones, and so many other movies where I'm just like, that man really was generic 1940s man. Like, he couldn't turn into anything else.
And I guess that was the point. It's like, this is meant to be like the big ol' end all be all. This was like the movie that like Sky Captain: The World of Tomorrow tried to be, but failed miserably, just because that movie was just boring beyond belief. This movie is just fun.
Yes. And it goes by really fast. Like the pacing of it's really fast.
Yeah.
And there's a lot going on.
A lot quicker than I thought it would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I remembered like Timothy Dalton being in it, but I couldn't remember how
prominent he was in it,
or like how her acting. Like, I thought that was just a weird side thing, but I'm like, oh no, everything's it's. I'm just waiting for the it rhymes, but.
It rhymes like pulp.
Well, it kind of does, because you talked about before while we were watching the Captain America: The First Avenger was the name of the movie, right? It's like the same movie scene. Yeah,
it's like it felt a lot, and it's obviously it's the same director, and like that's what I don't know if you guys have seen October Sky, but essentially October Sky I think it's later 50s, but it has a lot of the same feel where it's like they very much have a good tone of this period, because like. There's so many of these movies, like maybe I think that's why like Sky Captain doesn't work, because it's like I think they talk more modern, and like the costumes, they look like costumes, but like all those cars they're different types of cars. Like the costumes look like her dress looks amazing.
Oh, I guess they were trying to go for like that Batman TAS sort of like timeless feel, where it can be like a mixture of different time periods. Maybe that's what they were trying to do.
Yeah, I could sort of see that.
I will say though, for
Sky.
I will also say for our viewers, anyone who loves Superman the Animated Series and Batman the Animated Series, I think they'll also get a kick out of The Rocketeer, given that Bruce Timm's biggest inspiration for these movies were those type of old school 1930s, 40s serials, like the Max Fleischer Superman stuff, which I'm sure, which I'm sure like that also must have played a part in this as an inspiration for this film. Like when they show the black and white Nazi propaganda film, that feels like it was animated by Max Fleischer.
I did get that sort of vibe from it.
Yeah, this reminds me of the Superman where it's like not the animated show, but the one like that has the like hills, like the hill bound over buildings, like it is single bound. Yeah, like
a Batman Year One story,
but there was like a cartoon that had like that opening, and it's I remember my grandma had the.
That's the Max Fleischer one.
Oh,
flying robots.
Flying robots.
Numbers on them.
So I don't know. Was it on TV or was it just because my grandma just had like 3 episodes on tape, so I didn't know.
Originally they were theatrical shorts back in like the 30s and 40s, and eventually those just got circulated. They fell into the public domain, strangely enough, and so there's just like tons and tons of like VHS and DVD compilations that take like either those shorts or just like those shorts and a bunch of other public domain cartoon shorts and put out these like 8-hour long cartoon compilation tapes.
I think
that
yeah. I remember that because I'm like, it looks like that does look just like that because it was just like I just feel like it's just so wholesome. Like that, and that's kind of like that was a lot of this movie. This movie's very wholesome. Like it's very
absolutely.
much. Like, it was funny when we were reading when we watched Tammy and the T-Rex yesterday. They're like, "This is a family-friendly movie." It's like, no, it's not. Like, but then like I feel like this is like a very good like family you could watch it with your family. Like, there's nothing even like there's not even any like weird tongue-in-cheek stuff like some movies like have now. Like this is just like, this.
Well, you see, there was still a little bit of rubbing.
There was a little rage.
And given that this is an older movie, I don't think there's any problematic people in it. Like that's kind of a nice thing to go back and see. It's not like there's some movies you can't watch anymore because you're just like, fuck you, man. Why do you have to go and be an asshole? Like,
And this might have had the best death scene, I think.
Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot.
Yes. Oh my god, that was so amazing.
I like how they cut
that
away.
Reminded me of M. Bison's death in the Street Fighter movie.
Oh, I want to see that too. Someday we'll get that one.
That is a good film. Good stuff.
For you, it was the worst day of your life.
For me, it was
a Tuesday.
For you, the day Bison graced your village was the most important day of your life.
Aww.
But for me, it was Tuesday.
He just turned into Hitler at the end.
I still think that the better scene in that movie is that they're staring at a TV. They see a truck coming towards them. They look to their right, see the truck coming. Zangief goes, "Quick, change the channel."
He might have been my favorite character. Like I felt bad from the entire, like especially at the end where it's like, "You're getting paid."
Oh yeah.
And then there's
Zangief,
the invisible boat.
The invisible boat.
With the waves.
Oh come on.
Oh, that was a weird thing where essentially that was like there's the Mortal Kombat movie and then there's that movie where it's just like maybe it's a good thing that NetherRealms wasn't trying to like mess with that Mortal Kombat movie because Capcom was like, put all of the characters in there. We need Nighthawk. I know it's not Nighthawk. I forgot what his Street Fighter name was.
T-Hawk.
T-Hawk. You're like, we need T-Hawk. Except you won't know it's T-Hawk until the credits, and then and we need
Still can't get over they got Kylie Minogue to play Cammy. It's like she's Australian.
Yeah.
And then she had an affair with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
It's like, hey, Australian accents, British accents, they're the same thing, right? The Hollywood people like thinking. They both talk funny and not American.
How are we going to explain Blanca?
I would also recommend The Rocketeer on that.
Oh yeah, we're talking about a film, aren't we?
Yeah. So about this podcast.
Yes. Is this the Sonic one? Which one are we doing? we crossed over with so many people now. I can't even tell. Is this the E3 discussion now? I was just gonna say that. But then I was.
Oh, that was a lot of fun.
I was just gonna say, I was like, how did that go?
It went great.
I'm still working on the thumbnail, which will be nearly finished soon. So
yeah. Oh, do you want to share them a preview that you sent me earlier?
Oh yeah, sure. Hang on, I'll post it on the Discord so they can see.
I think you sent me one of the pictures.
I'll send it to you as well. Actually, why not? I'll just post it in there. Not finished yet. I've just got to do some last minute bits and pieces for it.
Is it somebody being thrown over the side of a cliff?
We did toy with the idea.
If I get time, I'm gonna do a bonus one as well.
Nice.
I was just like, oh, but I guess you guys could do your plugs, and then we could talk to you guys about E3 afterwards.
Sure.
I've actually got to go because I got to do some RE5 with my girlfriend.
Sure. You go first, dude.
What am I plugging?
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Yourself.
Oh, me. Oh,
yes.
So
whatever you want.
So my name is Random. I do sprite-based comics. One particular series I do called Winnabubble, which is a satirical / storyline-based comic, which currently on hiatus because I've been doing it since 2012, and I think the characters deserve a bit of a break. Starting to do some new pages soon, but it's just when I find the time. I also do sprite-based commissions. Shameless plug because I'm a shameless whore. And I'm currently, with Andres' help, working on my first written series called Chronicles of the Abyss, with the character you see in the thumbnail, Queen Rhiannon herself. So. So essentially I do sprite-based work. I'm starting to break out into written stories, and I do sprite commissions. Do hire me. I could do it with the money. Joking.
have two coming. We're
All right,
excited.
Mike.
Yes.
Yes, I'm actually going to be starting work on that tomorrow once I got Andres' E3 thing done. So do look forward to that.
We will have some awesome Final Fantasy ladies. Excited.
Indeed. I'm very pleased with what I've seen so far, and I've already got a few ideas, which I'll talk about with you at some point.
Oh yeah, about the others. Oh, and then you got your script ready, Andres? You got it from memory? It's on the.
I got it all up in here. So you can follow me over on KaijuNoir, where I do reviews and podcasts with a bunch of my friends on various topics, be it games, television, movies, and whatnot. You can also check out my giant robot, giant monster indie comic, Primal Warrior Draco Azul, issues 1 and 2, available on Amazon Kindle Comixology in physical and digital format. You can also check out my novel-length anthology book, Primal Warrior Draco Azul, Full Metal Chronicles, which is a series of short stories I wrote, available on paperback and Kindle over on Amazon as well. And you can also follow the latest news on Draco Azul over on my Facebook page, Primal Warrior Draco Azul, where just to let everyone know, I'm currently in the middle of working on issue 3 of Draco Azul, with roughly release around either December or January. And finally, you can check me out on Instagram at KaijuNoir, where I would share and upload art related to either the comic or my YouTube channel.
Nice. So you said, it's going to be this year then, Volume 3?
Hopefully this at the tail end of this year, if not right at the beginning of next year.
Nice. And then when's the second book? The one you're working with Ace coming out?
Oh, yes. So the new full-on novel, Draco Azul Soulless Blood novel that I am co-writing with Ace, we haven't had a release date yet for that book because it's still currently a work in progress, as he and I are slowly writing out chapters in our free time.
Thank you both for coming on. Hopefully you guys had fun.
Thank you very much for putting up with me.
Yes. I woke up early and it was worth it.
Can I also plug the latest Star Wars piece?
No, George! I told you to fuck off in the E3 podcast. I'm doing
I even brought the fridge magnets this time.
Oh, you can put it on your Xbox mini fridge. Did you guys talk about that?
Sounds lovely. I think I might do that.
Yes. Oh, but yeah.
I'll take him with me. Don't worry.
Okay, we'll end it there. So how was your guys' E3 yesterday?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We just talked mostly like 90% Nintendo, a little bit about
Pretty
our
much the
own.
only show worth watching, apparently.
Yes.
The Xbox